Hey fans of M&A, thanks for tuning in to another episode of M&A Sports Radio, and if you haven't already, please hit subscribe on your favorite podcast app.
While you're in there, leave us a rating, add a comment. We appreciate the feedback. Thank you for tuning in, M&A Sports Radio. On this M&A Sports Sit-Down, in the spirit of the 2016 Summer Olympic Games, we paid a lot of attention to the big events. I know I know, but that was really weird. We all pay attention to, especially me, the basketball, some swimming, but there's a lot of interesting sports out there. I think the games are so unique, especially the summer ones. I know I'm a big hockey winter guy, but the summer Olympics are so much different, and I want to take this time to focus on other Olympic events. What do you want to start with? I know I have one off the top of my head. I think you know where I'm going, but I want to hear your thoughts first.
I have 2 on land, 3 in water. So 2 on land, volleyball. I love men, women, indoor, beach. It doesn't matter. I love the strategy of volleyball. I love the athleticism of volleyball. I love that there's so much tactics and strategy of, all right, we got to set the wall up this way, but the outside hitter might come through the middle this way, and we got to make sure that we have passers in the back in our system and stuff like that. I love it. I love the detail, that attention to detail, that it comes down to execution. It's just like a regular sport, but people don't see the light of that in volleyball.
What do you like better, indoor or beach volleyball?
That's a good question. I think the
beach is very entertaining because
beach is awesome because it's just the two of you out there and no subs, no nothing. It's you two versus the other two. That's it. Smaller court, but I think it's a little less strategy in the sense that you're really only accounting for 2 other people on the other side, whereas if someone sets up an indoor volleyball, it could be coming from any of the 5 other players. Mm-hmm. So, and I think the libero is an interesting thing. I like how, you have to have some people here, some people there. So I think indoor gives the nod there, but I know Kerry Walsh and Misty May. I've seen more Kerry Walsh and Misty May matches than indoor.
We've all seen that if you've been alive long enough.
Yeah. But
what were they together? Misty May ran the game for like 16. I was going to say
3 Olympics together.
I wasn't sure if
Misty May was a little older.
Misty May was in there
Kerry.
for 4 Olympics, wasn't she? She was in 16 years.
And then Kerry won a tryout for her new partner, and that's when it got formed.
What's the next sport you want to touch on?
Go for you.
For me, I want to touch on boxing here. I know I talked to you guys about it a little the other day. I was like, hey, it's on. I find it so cool to watch boxing in the Olympics because it's one of those things, even though it's on, it doesn't really get as much love.
And it's not those 12-round affairs. It's like 3 rounds, get your punches in.
They don't wear headgear anymore.
Yeah, I know. I didn't see that coming the other night when you told me to flip to it.
No, I was very surprised. I think it's unique because I think you look at, even though boxing's not necessarily what it was maybe 15 or 20 years ago, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao literally stopped those sports world for a night in May 4th, 2015. Mm-hmm. And I think to have that type of star power, we should try and find that next guy. And I think the Olympics, if we could find a great American light heavyweight or something like that, that's somewhere where I think this sport could really flourish, and we could see someone come all the way up and become an American story, and someone really we can wrap our arms around.
Where the young Cassius Clay got his start. Winning gold medal.
Yep.
My next land sport is handball. I think handball is one of the coolest sports
I liked it in gym class. I don't know. I don't really know why.
I got introduced to it at a young age. My cousin, who went to West Point, who was the mascot for a lot of the games up there, he played it, and I saw a lot of the national team from France would come in, the national team from England would come in, and they'd have these tournaments at West Point, and they'd be awesome games. And it was so I was wondering at that age, I was like, why is the sport not as popular? And I see it every time in the Olympics every 4 years, and I wonder the same thing. And if our best athletes were playing that game, that'd be something to watch, And you can say that about soccer, you can say that about a lot of sports, there's track and field and stuff like that. But if we didn't have the big 4 sports, what other sports would our best athletes be playing? I think handball would be one of them.
I think volleyball would definitely be one. Chase Budinger was the number one.
Chase in your face.
Before he went to Arizona, he was the number 1 volleyball player in the country.
Yes,
so I think guys with verticals like that would probably play volleyball. I think football, I hate to, I don't know. I guess football players would play lacrosse. That'd be a really interesting dynamic.
Weightlifting.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
Boxing.
You know what I find interesting? I know I'm keeping it on land here. I think baseball is coming back, but that's one of my favorite summer Olympics to watch. I actually really like girls softball.
Yes, me too.
When Lisa Fernandez was on her way up.
Jenny.
Yep, Jenny Finch, Kat Osterman, those girls.
Kat was
Yep.
sick.
Yeah, I remember watching her at Texas. So
Yes.
girls like that who dominate their sport. In USA, women's softball was the standard. They dominated for a long time. I really miss watching that. The baseball, not as much because we don't see it on TV as much.
No, we don't see the pros.
Softball's
It's
quick.
different guys.
Softball's quicker too.
Very true. Very true. Less innings, a little more scoring sometimes too. Even though there could be no scoring with two dominant pitchers, plus they got rubber arms, so you just throw them out there. Going to the pool now. Swimming, I mean, swimming is the best. Phelps, Lochte, Lily King, Ledecky,
In
Missy
US
Franklin, all these guys. You got villains like Leclos. You got the Russian woman who shouldn't be there but is there competing. The swimming brings up so much drama. It's great. And Dan Hicks and Rowdy Gaines do a great job. And I'm not the biggest Dan Hicks guy, as everyone knows. But he and Rowdy Gaines do an unbelievable job with swimming.
I think you bring up a great point when it comes to swimming. The storylines are like you'd think it was a contact sport.
Yeah.
Like
It's great.
The dynamic between even Phelps and Lochte, the last 8 years up until this Olympics, they didn't really get along. There was some bad blood.
They really haven't.
Yeah,
I mean, they've competed against each other their whole lives.
But there was some blood.
But they come together for the relays and stuff.
Yeah.
Like last night, it's
Lochte
interesting.
thought he was the man for a long time, and he wasn't.
And we're recording this Wednesday night. So last night, Tuesday night, their teammates in the medley, and then tonight they're against each other in lanes right next to each other.
No, it's definitely
another
interesting.
race.
I just think this is a really interesting segment. I think it's pretty cool. Something we see once every 4 years, and we thought you guys would appreciate it.
I got two more.
All right, go for it. What do you got?
Whitewater rafting, which I had never
didn't even
seen
know.
before.
I was just, I didn't know that.
They have these gates. It's kind of like skiing. So there's always gates downstream, but then you have to fight the current for upstream gates, and you have to get your whole body and canoe or whatever through the gates. It's really cool to watch. And then, of course, how can I forget, or how can I not mention until maybe I save this last but not least. Water polo is so cool. My guy, Tony Acevedo, still playing for the U.S. men's Olympic team. That sport is so cool. The pool is, I think, 7 or 8 feet. So these guys aren't standing. They're treading water the whole time, and their bodies rise up through the water. They throw these bombs with the right arm.
I've never.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
You just put me on.
Great game. Love water polo. So those are my 5.
I watched water polo. I meant whitewater rafting. I'm sorry.
And whitewater rafting is really cool too. Handball, volleyball, swimming, water rafting, and water polo are my 5. Obviously, you can go basketball, track and field, stuff like that. But
we know it. We talk about that enough. Those are the money makers here.
Exactly.
I think, like I said before, I think it's a really interesting segment. Really good idea. Thank you for everyone who tuned in to this M&A Sports Sit Down. We'll have more coming your way. See you.